Hi everyone, LazyFire here. Welcome back to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and we are almost in the end game. I hope everyone's excited as I am, because this has been, well, I mean, it's not a long journey, but it's been an interesting one, I think. And now we're going to go with Salter and the Chief and leave our friends out here, and hopefully the space elevator workaround trick we've come up with is going to work for us here. Let's get going. Ooh, ammo. I feel like they throw a lot of ammo boxes at you by the end game.
We've got incoming. On you, Reyes.
Sector is secure.
Oh, that's right. I had the Volk with the
A surprise.
semi-auto. Surprise! I really like this semi-auto Volk. That could have been a lot worse than it was. Ooh. Oh, I thought McCollum got him there. Okay. Yeah, I got a little fancy there.
Target's down.
Shock ammo's full. Really?
Let's keep moving.
Sure. Alright. I guess you need some decals on that wall or you're going to keep walking into it there. Alright. This is actually kind of neat sequence.
Your eyes open.
Notice the curve. Again, this is stuff that I really wish they'd played with a little bit more through the course of the game. But just like the perspective changes and everything that you have available to you because of the zero grav stuff.
Means our forces are putting up a fight down there.
You can't step on there if you want to get yourself killed.
Help them out and disable these launchers.
Salt, you got one of those charges?
Here you go. Doors opening. Let me go before it blows. Captain, please. The mission. Let go.
Damn it, Mac! Why'd she do that?
She did that so we keep going. The others are still counting on us.
You're right.
Let's go stop that ambush.
So yeah, we just lost Mac by kind of unceremonious. Salter, of course, upset about this, despite the fact that she was more than willing to let everyone else die who isn't Reyes half the time for the mission. Come on. That was weird. I don't really like... So, what the game did there was, because it was basically a stealth loading screen, it locked me into place, and then Reyes took his face mask off after the airlock cycled. I really don't like when games do that. I really wish this game would have thought that out a little bit more. Maybe smart loading on some of this stuff, but whatever. Fake loading screens are not that bad a deal.
We're clear through here.
And of course, we've seen this room before. It's one of the things I actually appreciate about the sort of environmental design of the game is...
Stay low.
We think Xeno is targeting this level. You too, mark up here. Shuttle guards, get in here. Deploy
That's a shuttle station.
We have any count on
Got the
targets.
drop on them. On your go, Reyes.
They're not getting through that.
There we go. But yeah, one of the things I like is that you'll occasionally run into these rooms that are essentially identical to each other because, of course, this is built-in modules and it's, you know,
Get the others up here and get
a big spaceship, blah, blah, blah.
Ready to load off, Captain.
So it's kind of a nice design conceit.
Thanks, sir.
Where's the chief?
She didn't make it.
We gotta go.
Clear!
All clear.
Which ship is it, Ethan?
Right there.
That's a destroyer.
It's got a full payload. Can we use it?
To fight our way out?
No. To level this place.
The ship on fire, Captain. The weapon system is not enabled.
Forget the weapons. Let's release the moorings, key in a drop, and go.
Boats. How can we enable the payload?
Firing control, sir.
Where's firing control?
Command center, ma'am. It's a shuttle ride that way.
Who's gonna do that?
Me.
You'll never make it back to the ship. If we wait, they'll fire on us.
You're not gonna wait.
Captain. How will you get home?
No one's going home. You board that ship and you terminate this place, Salt. Do as much damage as you can before SDF takes you out.
I can do both. I can hit the shipyard and drop out of here.
You won't have time.
Watch me.
You got the green light to do whatever it takes. Just finish the mission.
Everybody good with this?
You'll need a crew to launch. We'll have to fight our way on.
Shuttle. Brooks, take him out. Ethan, with me.
No, ma'am. Captain's gonna need my help to get to the command center.
Damn you both. Did you know we were gonna finish this here?
No. I think Mac did.
Well, I guess I'll see you both in hell.
Count on it.
Okay, gentlemen, let's move out! Fair winds.
Bye. Bye.
Captain, you copy?
Affirmative, Ethan.
I'm into their network. Got eyes on you now.
What about enemy positions?
Got eyes on those too, sir.
This is suicide, Reyes.
I gave my order, Salt.
Captain doesn't always bring his men home.
Not always.
I feel like having these big exposed pipes on the superstructure is probably a bad idea. Well, what do I know about industrial design?
Looks to be clear.
Check.
Junction room. Should be full of stock you can swipe.
Last haul, huh?
Regrettably, sir.
Alright, one shock. Hacking charge. I don't want a hacking charge. It would...
Where to?
All the way to the floor. Guns close.
Copy.
Hacking charge would actually be kind of useful almost. But as I've mentioned before, it's not an overly useful tool. Like, it's a nice idea, but the fact that you have to basically be exposed to use it most of the time, not great. And here you're seeing why I brought this monstrosity of a fucking giant Gatling gun thing. And why I chose the heat scope. Just very good overall. A lot of damage to throw down range, and lots of ammo.
I need weapons and moorings unlocked. One without the other is a no-go.
Raj, be advised, hostile airships are moving to your sector.
Copy. Eyes on. Out.
Captain, you got company on the exit.
Got no cover!
I'll take care of that.
Yeah, I had cover. Let's get rid of everything. That was a pretty effective shock. As a matter of fact, it's still going. Oh, wait, we missed it there, but Ethan opened up a door and nailed somebody into the wall. They, of course, then got up and shot us, but whatever.
You got a hunter in there, Captain.
Okay. That thing is gonna hurt. In this little area, Yeah, I'm basically shooting him in the arm. He won't get closer. There we go. That was some bullshit. But let's load up on this shit that we had here. That's just a happy accident right there that I happen to be using the same stuff that's available next to me. Nah. You're gonna want as much ammo as you can carry into this.
Use the access shaft, upper left.
Copy that.
Peter, we're talking with the Marines, taking fire!
No, we're getting stitched up over here. No time to waste.
Copy. Moving as fast as I can. Hold them off. Ethan! Thanks, partner.
In spite of the situation, I'm enjoying myself, sir.
Me too.
I really think that was one of the better uses of the setting right there. Ethan venting those guys out into space to save your ass.
Good shooting, sir. You'll need to take the elevator to firing control. Almost there.
Copy.
We keep loaded up, keep everything good. We should be all right.
You should be going by their munitions depot, sir.
Affirmative. Quite an arsenal.
I mean, did that guy not hear any of the fighting?
Reyes, we're taking casualties here! Running out of time!
Ethan, hostile forces are aboard the lieutenant's destroyer.
Sir, firing control entry is dead ahead. Be advised, the room is occupied with armed personnel.
Roger that.
All right. This is kind of our final encounter. And it can be a doozy. It's guys are everywhere. You'll get enemy reinforcements. Lots of robots, as you can see here. Lots of guys, which is why we brought this thing. And you just got to keep moving and keep shooting. It's really the only thing that will keep you alive for very long. This is what we like to call the old spray and pray technique, where you just get in the middle of a bunch of bullshit because you threw the wrong grenade type and hope for the best. Alright. And again, it's one of the few chances you're going to get in the game to use the wall running in the single player. That guy called me a piece of shit. Alright. So, yeah, the main idea that I follow is sticking to the edge of the map. And that was bad. And if you stick to the edge of the map, you usually have a pretty good chance of just avoiding a lot of shots. There's a lot more cover here. You can't get up top there, which is disappointing. Alright, perfect. I think we actually killed them all.
All clear, Metal One.
Firing control terminal should be on the main console, sir.
But yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. Yeah, I know.
Please, sir.
I'm at the terminal, Ethan. You release the moorings, I'll activate firing control.
Sir, since they've shut down the switches on the lock, I can blow the relays from here and release the moorings manually, but I'll need your help.
I'll come back.
No time. Core interference may disable my processor. Hack into my system and you can keep me moving. Use the hacking module. I've got line of sight to your location, sir.
Okay. I'm in. Pretty strange.
It's very unusual, sir.
What do we do?
Distribution room. Down the steps, Captain.
Alright, so we get to play as Ethan for a few minutes. But yeah, that's really our final encounter back there. This is kind of perfunctory.
We'll pull the fuses, overload the circuits, melt the relays on the ship lock.
Ethan, why do you need me for this?
Core is electromagnetic. The shock may disable my processor. I'll need your help to stay mobile.
I hate that fucking explanation. But you remember Metal Gear Solid 4?
Distribution room, and we can overload it in time. My chassis can sustain temps well above this, sir. Keep moving. Core room is just up ahead.
Reminds me of that in Metal Gear Solid 4, where it's like, alright, you're gonna go through this microwave thing. His processor's all messed up, then how the fuck is he able to let Reyes control him? Doesn't that involve the processor?
What do we do?
Inductive coil visible in my HUD. Pull the capacitor to destabilize the reactor.
And of course a quick time event, why not? Just do it. I mean, Jesus. Why the quick time event for that? Eh.
It looks like it's overloading. Let's get out of here.
Oh, sir. Core is still holding. It'll need a charge to set it off. My self-destruct, sir. The detonation will ignite the core. It'll set off a chain reaction and blow the mooring.
There's gotta be another way.
I'm afraid not, sir.
Alright.
Understand the conflict, Captain. I'm ready. I promise.
Well, like I said before, you're gonna see a lot of characters you like go down here. So say goodbye to Ethan, everyone.
It's been an honor, sir.
Honor was all mine, Metal One.
Reyes, we're mobile. Enable firing control.
Firing control is set. You have the con.
Copy firing control.
Target is marked. Fire on my position.
Reyes, get the hell out of there!
Fire on my position, Salter!
I can't do that, Nick!
Nora, finish the mission! That's an order!
Set weapons free! All stations! Warship is clean to engage! Guns! Swivel mount fire one! Open fire! Open fire! Incoming missile carrier 240! Launch countermeasure! Hold target! Hold target! Concentrate fire! Concentrate fire! Casualties on the bridge! No rotate to cover! Keep firing! Keep firing! All stations! Star 1-2, transmitting in the blind. Shipyard destroyed. Reyes, do you copy? Peter? Nick! Nick, do you copy?
Both officers, aware of the imminent danger, in spite of extensive casualties, planned and skillfully executed an attack with unwavering devotion to their duty. Commander Reyes and Lieutenant Salter gallantly offered their own lives and those of their crew, mobilizing at close range against superior firepower. The operation eliminated vital numbers of enemy vessels and destroyed the settlement defense France orbital shipyard. The officer's commitment exhibited the highest traditions of naval service.
Peace to the fallen.
So yeah, that was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Interesting way to end the game, of course, with Reyes dying and, you know, the suicide mission being successfully suicidal. Honestly, that last segment of the game, and I'm going to keep pointing this out, the last segment of the game is just so much better than most of the rest of the game because it's more focused, it keeps you more on rails, they can actually, like, think these things through. Now, what we have here is an interesting set of speeches from all these characters. If you recall, we did hear one from Omar previously in one of the terminals, and now we can hear one from everybody because this credit sequence takes about 10 minutes more. So we're gonna do Omar last because then you can just turn off after that. But let's go through everyone else first.
My dearest children. Well, as this letter will only be used in the event of my death, it may seem somewhat sorrowful, but I don't want you to see it that way, okay? I have always felt that our stay on Earth, the time we call life, it's a temporary gift to be spent in service of something greater than ourselves. Death comes to us all. It is not to be feared. I loved my job, but I hated war. But the secret mission I undertook every single day was to protect the two of you from anyone or anything that threatened your health and well-being. So promise me you will take care of one another and please live your lives to the fullest with all the love in my heart. Mum.
And so again, I'm going to point out that the sequences, these speeches by each character, they're really where you get the depth of who the character is. Stuff that's not really communicated through the game. That's, you know, not about just who they are and everything. Also, I like the background with Mars and all the bodies and everything in the air. Anyways, let's listen to Gator.
For my dear wife Olivia and my daughter Nisreen. If you are reading this, I guess I didn't make it home. I was prepared to face danger and death. I hope I did so with dignity. My time was cut short, but I had countless blessings. I married the perfect woman. I have a brand new daughter on the way. I'd be selfish to ask for more. I love you, Olivia. Welcome our baby into this world and cherish her for me. Remind her about her daddy. And please, never be afraid to do what you need to find happiness. Nisreen? Hello, sweetheart. I left for this tour before you were born. I'm sorry I won't be able to see you grow up. Daddy wanted to make the world a better place. That's why we made you. Keep me in your prayers and try to do one good deed every day. Be safe, my family. Victor.
If you're keeping track at home, we've done 2 of these, and we're already on our 3rd studio, High Moon. Already did Raven and Infinity Ward. There are like 6 more studios. Anyways, Ethan.
Sir, we're behind enemy lines now in the heat of battle. Time is short. You've given an order from which there is likely no return. You did what had to be done. All in. I'm proud of you. You're a born leader, sir. Today was one of the worst days in history, and forgive me for saying it, but it was the greatest day of my life. I did everything I was trained for and more. Together, we fought the good fight. Over Titan, you said we were brothers. I always wanted to know what a family really is. Now I do. Admiral Raines told me that a soldier is only as good as his last mission. If this is ours, then I can say, with certainty, we were damn good, sir. Better to burn out than it is to rust. Metal One, out.
Okay, we've moved through multiple other studios in that time. Let's listen to what Griff has to say.
Sir, I'm not quite sure how a son greets his father after not seeing him for a lifetime. guess I'll say hi, Dad. Finally tracked down your address through the Human Resource Department in Washington. I had to use my birth certificate to prove we were related. I want you to know I followed in your footsteps. I joined the Navy. Thought it would make you proud. If we ever saw each other, we'd have more to talk about. I went to sniper school to be a sharpshooter, but my vision changed. I became an instructor. I'm currently deployed aboard the UNSA carrier Retribution. My mom Sandy passed away this year. I went back to the old house just before shipping out and found a box with your Silver Star for Valor. My mom kept it all this time. I wish I'd known you still lived in Tennessee. I would have dropped by. Could have had a beer and caught up. I forgive you for leaving. I hope you're not mad at me for writing. Thanks for helping bring me into this world. I did my best to be a good man. Maynard Griffin.
The hell were Jay Farrow and Ike Barinholtz doing voices in this game for? Also, Yetide is apparently voiced by someone named Yetide. Interesting.
Marta, the Navy has made my life a long-distance love affair. The things I love are all far away. My home, my animals, you. I am doing important work. I'm ready for anything, even this. The military did not take my life. I volunteered it. I know this isn't easy. Please don't cry for me or us. Cry for a world that couldn't make peace. I think of you and my heart races. I smile, I laugh out loud, and people tell me I always seem so happy. I am. I have you. Yours forever, Yetide.
It's one of those names that just fits. Like, you know, it's a good name to show international inclusion. Anyways, Kashmina.
Hey, Mom. Dad. When I joined the Marines, I told you that I'm ready to give my life for fighting for a good cause. If I don't come home for any reason, then that's what happened. I hope I died doing something heroic. And in the long run, I hope that I made you proud. I promised myself I wouldn't get close to people here, but it's kind of impossible not to. I wasn't scared here, but I was homesick. Mom, I had a dream last night that you were making dinner. Yes, my favorite pork chops. And we were all at the table together. Tell Aunt Joyce I said hi and I love her. And give Bailey a big kiss and a new tennis ball from me. Everyone here has a mother and father, but you and Dad only have one son. So I'm sorry I didn't make it back. Semper Fi. Your loving son, Todd.
Okay, and finally...
Dear Andrew, it's Fleet Week. More ships are dry docked against the dawn sky. I'm home, but it's not home without you. I know I had what every woman envied, a husband that gave life more meaning. You were my handsome better half. Since the day we locked eyes, I thought of you constantly. I still do. The internal drive that earned me my rank cost me a marriage. The Navy imbued me to accomplish the mission and never quit. To that end, I'll never stop loving you, no matter where or when I go. Thank you. Being together was a gift. With love always, Laura.
And let's listen to Omar's again, why not, right?
To my dearest wife, Sarah, my son, Noah, and my daughter, Abby. If you're reading this, I can tell you with the utmost confidence that I die for something right and just. The cost of war is higher than any one life, and I happily give mine in defense of my men and family. Abby, I'm sorry I didn't keep my promise when I said I was coming home. My hopes for your future gave me the strength to protect everything we hold dear. You will always be Daddy's little girl. Noah, be an honest man. Keep your word. Only use violence as a last resort. You're the man of the house now. Sarah, please keep our baby safe. And find it in your heart to forgive me for leaving you alone. If my last breath is not in the battlefield, then surely it will be in your arms. Keep me in your hearts. Always.
And so I thought maybe they'd, like, throw up another set of these things after the first one, but no, they don't. Instead, you just kind of stare at space, because the credits are so long that they went past Mars and are now just showing you stars. I don't know. I feel like that was a nice ending to the game, as I've mentioned before, putting you more on rails, giving you more structure to how you're getting through the levels, and kind of taking away some of the choices and some of the more free-flowing elements of the game. It's really where it worked out. And if they had actually taken that sort of design philosophy and maybe worked out how to get your enhanced mobility stuff into those environments and then open up the options from there, it might have worked out a lot better. But instead, they did a lot of this stuff with, flying around and sort of these side missions that were all on ships, which, I mean, that actually meets my definition of what made the end of the game better, is that they gave you kind of a limited area. But, well, man, I should just erase all this and skip all the credits. But I guess the point is, there was more of a sense of urgency, more of more something that you felt you had to be doing when you were in these last missions versus the side missions that just felt like they were throwaway background fodder. And I think that's always been kind of the point of Call of Duty, is that you always feel like there's a high risk in what you're doing. And you just don't get those in the side missions. In these end missions, with everyone going down around you, with stuff exploding, with, everything being on the line, it feels a lot more, you feel more urgent to continue on. Now, does Titanfall 2 have that sense the whole time? Oh, not necessarily, of course. It is more lighthearted at times, and it does do a lot bigger spectacle stuff in terms of, like, the throws and, while running on the side of spaceships as they fly next to other spaceships, and then Titans dropping in on them and blowing, Titanfall 2 and Infinite Warfare are two very different games in that regard, in terms of how they present themselves and how they kind of urge the player forward. Because Titanfall 2 is just all straightforward, go from here to here to here. This game is much more open in the sense that you have those side missions to go do. And so that makes it feel like you don't have to go do Operation Burnwater. Hey, did you know that we have Operation Burnwater? Like, every 4 seconds you go into the screen that reminds you to go do it. But you don't feel like you need to, because there's a lot more things on the map. And then by that point you get to doing these, main missions, you start to feel like there was no urgency to come do it. It's just a big side mission now. So, yeah, you can debate that all you'd like in the comments and in the thread. But that's kind of how I feel. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that makes this a bad game at all. Like, this is actually a pretty solid title, even if a lot of the sense of urgency and the actions of the players don't make a lot of sense at times, or the protagonists, and the SDF threat never feels very overwhelmingly bad, because, once again, the side missions kind of make it feel like you're winning until the end of the game, where you just start losing constantly. Anyways, yeah, the thing is, like, it's a totally competently done game, and you can't complain about that. Like, the presentation may not be what Titanfall 2's is at times, but it's well done. There's not really much to complain about in the shooting. there are certain things that you know that they wanted to do more with that they just couldn't because there's going to be players who pick up the campaign and can't handle, you know, the 3D movement of the space segments, or can't really do much besides lock onto stuff like I do with the space combat. So you have to kind of balance it out. And I think that's where they lost some points, maybe, is not, they didn't pitch to just one strength. They had to develop competency in like 3 or 4 different areas, which kind of hurt them. With Titanfall 2, it's a little bit easier because you really only have the 2 competencies you have to do, and they're closely aligned, the Titan and the Pilot. And you already have a previous game that used almost all the same mechanics, just in multiplayer. So as long as you get the right level design and the right gimmicks per level, you should be fine for Titanfall 2. For this, they did take stuff that they've done before, such as the helicopter segments from previous Black Ops games, really, coming into this game as the space segments with some minor adjustments. And, you know, the spacewalking stuff, they had some of that in the Call of Duty Ghosts. And so, you know, it's not all brand new stuff, but it's stuff that they had to figure out, how is this going to fit into a larger game? How do we change it for this title? What do we want to do with X, Y, and Z? You know, that sort of thing. I don't even know when some of these songs played. I didn't hear a single Blondie song. I didn't hear Sunglasses at Night. The hell? I didn't hear Final Countdown. Yeah, I don't know. When did any of this stuff play? Human League song? Sure. But yeah, I feel like, when was that played? When the hell did they play the Knight Rider theme? I must have missed out on something. Definitely didn't hear any of Tainted Love. It must be music in the background. Why is like everything in 2023 here, or whatever fucking year it is, why is it all played by 80s and 90s acts? When did Add It Up come out? 93? It doesn't say there. I don't remember that playing. Okay, interesting. Anyways, that is the end of the game. This is pretty much the end of the credits as far as I know, and if it's not, I'm just going to fucking exit out of this, because we're not really gaining anything at this point, though it does look like there's a hurricane forming out there. Anyways, thanks for watching this LP, everyone. And, well, I can't say I'll see you next time, but yeah. Oh, look. They weren't chained to their desks and forced to finish this on time at all. Thanks for watching, everyone.